welcome to another MedGeekTV Health Hero Spotlight. I'm Deborahlise. So today I'm super excited to invite to the interview Elissa Arnheim. She is, I call, a gut guardian. She is incredible with gut health for babies, children, and women. So she really protects the microbiome of mamas and their babies. And she came to this journey from her own health struggles, which she will share, is pretty incredible with the health of her son and how that propelled her into doing what she's doing. She's also an ecologist, and it was just a natural progression, just like me and other people in the microbiome medicine world, to start with the external ecology and then go into the internal ecology. So she is lovely, and you are in for a treat. So enjoy.
Next level.
Yay, Elissa. Hi, I'm so excited to have you here today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and I am so excited to be here with you, Deborahlise.
Oh my goodness. You're in Seattle, correct?
I am, and it is a precious sunny day today. It's awesome.
Oh, yay. That's so great. And so, Elissa, I brought you on today on MedGeekTV because you are one of my health heroes. And I just love the work you do with mamas and children and working on babies' guts and, all sorts of working with the families, right? The mamas and the babies to help them thrive together.
Yes.
I just think it's so beautiful. And when I was looking at your history of what you do, you really started with ecology, right? And outdoor education, is that correct?
Yeah, ecology, conservation, a lot of ecological studies and outdoor education.
That is so amazing. And tell me, what was there an aha moment where something shifted in whether your health or your family's health, where you discovered, the microbiome, which is what you're working in? Tell me, is there any personal journey?
Yeah, there's a big one, actually. I eventually switched careers entirely and moved into working in a hospital, which was like the polar opposite from being outside in the woods, like hiking, rambling around. And so I'd been working in the hospital for several years when I had my baby. And I went back to work after maternity leave, which felt really crazy. I was on call and had a lot of demands around my schedule for work. And then I decided to leave my job. And around that time, I was just starting to learn a little bit about gut health. I was exploring fermentation and decided I wanted to start my own business coaching moms who wanted their babies to fall in love with eating vegetables and be kids and adults who loved eating vegetables, because I really thought that was the holy grail of health. And then we found out that my little boy had cancer, and it was terrifying and kind of baffling, honestly, because I thought we were super healthy. And that was the moment when I realized that the little bits I was starting to learn about gut health were actually the biggest bits I needed to get really, really fast. And that's when I really dove into what I'm doing now. It works. It's really important.
What a beautiful story. I feel like I hear this over and over with health heroes, how it's like we're all Jedis in training, and then something really intense has to happen to push us to that edge to really find our path, right? And your son was an amazing teacher for you.
And he still is. He still is. Oh my gosh. He really brings the Jedi out in me. And this is really, I do this with my clients. When we decide to support our kids fully, it often means going in a new direction and not necessarily going the way everyone around us is going. And whew, that takes superpower. That really does. It takes superpower. It takes support. It takes a lot of special qualities that we have some of them, and we get to build some of them.
Yes. In speaking of how you help these mamas, it sounds like you have different programs. Can you give us a little snapshot of, how you support these mamas? Yeah.
Absolutely. So I do work with a handful of elite private clients, and I'm really close to these private clients. They get to call me whenever they want. I just had a client call me last week. Actually, she was so excited about her lab results, and she knew nobody else would understand why she was so excited. And she actually was able to reduce her thyroid meds. So she was over the moon, and so was I. And this was actually even before starting any particular protocols other than some mama support routines. We hadn't even gotten to her kid yet. So anyway, working privately is super fun. It's a really close connection with me, and you can also, and it's a year long. You can also work with me when by doing a group program where you get all of the essentials of supporting yourself so that you can then support your child's gut health, all of the important details of what we get to do to really nourish our children's guts and all the beneficial microbes in there and why it's important. And so this is a 12-week program, and you get to be with these other moms that are participating in our group sessions, in our community forums. It's pretty fun. It's really great to be in the community. And if that is not your cup of tea, if you just want to do it by yourself, we also have a self-study version. So
cool. So let's say I'm a mama. I am a mama. I have 2 kiddos. And, I have one of my kids is really struggling, and I came to you. Would you, run labs or help me order labs, look at labs, analyze? How does that proceed?
So what we would first do is really get a sense of where you are now yourself. And the first thing I work on with all of my clients, no matter what program they're in, is mama support. Bringing in what we need as far as routines that work for you specifically in your life for your particular situation to calm down your adrenals, calm down the stress. We're not going to stop stress from happening, but we can actually get really, really good at switching back into our rest and digest mode. Getting those routines makes all the difference, getting some sleep. Then we move into more of the technical side of gut health. Depending on which level you're working with me at, this includes getting some testing done, the organic acids testing. It might include the interpretation and protocols, and that just is determined by how you decide to work with me.
Yeah, I love this because really I feel like one of the most important pieces is resetting rhythms. And I feel that that's where you first focus, which is beautiful.
Yeah. It has proven to be the most healing factor for my son. That has been me calming down. We saw an amazing improvement when he was being treated for SIBO. After 10 months of this super intense chemotherapy, we went through all the stuff. He had massive inflammation. He had a new slew of food sensitivities, all kinds of reactions, was having trouble sleeping, all kinds of stuff. And so we were systematically working through all of this. And I had brought incredible practitioners on board to support me. And we were working through SIBO, and we were in the second round of the antibiotic and all of the, like, eliminating all the FODMAPs. And I had like lists up around the kitchen about what was safe to eat. And I was making dinner one night and he wasn't getting better. And so I was, there chopping my red pepper, getting dinner ready. And he came up and he was like, "Are you sure that's okay for me to eat?" He was 3.5, almost 4. And he's like questioning everything I put on the cutting board. He was like double checking. And I was like, oh my gosh, my poor little boy is afraid of food. Like, he is so stressed, so stressed. And like, I was stressed. Like, I felt like every bite he ate was like life or death. And I didn't realize that's how I was thinking of it. But I was, and I called up our GI naturopath and I was like, hey, we need to take a step back. We need to like cut it out with all of the food lists because he's super freaked out. I'm super freaked out. Now, all I want to do is practice calming down. And so together we worked up a list of all the different ways to calm my nervous system, and his nervous system just followed. And that's, I mean, you have kids, you know, like your energy, your kids pick up on, like, they just act out your energy. And this was the time that his SIBO symptoms went away. It was amazing. 3 weeks in to doing nothing but rest and digest, all of a sudden he no longer had those like stinky, greasy, floaty, like awful pasty poops. He wasn't getting so bloated anymore. I don't know that it necessarily entirely disappeared. SIBO is hard to get rid of. But his symptoms decreased incredibly when we just focused on rest and digest. So that was a big deal. And that is part of why, and I see this in my clients also. So that's why we always start with this rest and digest.
I love this. I mean, really, you know, I tell this to my mama clients all the time that, you know, you're the sun, the mama is the sun, and all the kids and everybody else in the family rotates around the sun. And really, if mama burns out, if mama implodes, right, then the whole universe starts to crumble. And so you focusing, and the other thing is that every day is postpartum, right? Every day of your life is postpartum. And so
I've never heard anyone say that, and it is so true. Thank you for just putting it out there.
And you are a warrior in terms of supporting mamas postpartum, because to me, that's like a black hole in our whole culture of not having that safety net for mamas. And I feel like creating a tribe like you've done, helping mamas navigate, because we feel so isolated. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. I agree. I feel like the communities that we used to live in, just by virtue of being human, they've been so fragmented. Like, we're all by ourselves in our separate houses. And even though we talk, we're on social media, like, when it comes down to the nitty gritty of raising our children, we are so alone. I was reading this, I think it was in the New York Times. There's a study I heard about it. It was a study of breastfeeding success around the world. And in all these different cultures, it was so clear to these researchers over and over again that new moms have a really hard time breastfeeding. They always have a hard time and want to give up. And the only difference, you might have seen this study, the only difference between the cultures where women do typically continue on to breastfeed and those that don't is how much support they have. The women that keep breastfeeding are the women who are in houses where there is a constant stream of sisters, of moms, of aunts, of friends who are like getting in there, grabbing her boob and saying, this is how you do it. You're not giving up. You can do it. This is how you do it. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
What a huge difference from being by yourself, ashamed that you can't get it right, wondering if there's something wrong with you, having to think about convincing your partner to pay like $200 to get a breastfeeding consultant to come to your house or whatever it is, trying to get out the door with your baby to go see someone. It's a lot.
Yes.
It's really different now. It's really different than it used to be.
That is an amazing story. Wow. And so I know you've also done, I don't know how many, but you've done quite a few summits, like the Healthy Gut, Happy Child Summit.
Yeah, the Healthy Gut, Happy Child Summit. Yeah, I love putting these summits together. And I know that so many moms love to watch these interviews because we get into the nitty gritty, like what I was just talking about. And it's super fun, super informative. And yeah, it's one of my favorite things that I do every year.
can people find these? Like, are they recorded and they can purchase them, or how does that work?
You know, I do occasionally make them available for sale. The best way is to just follow me, tune in, participate in a summit when it's going on, and then you'll have that option. Past recordings do pop up now and then. I'll include little clips now and then in a lesson with one of my programs, in my emails sometimes, and I typically just give access to the summits when people do purchase programs.
That is awesome. And I know you're also a fermentationist. Is that correct?
I am. I love fermented vegetables. I love fermenting vegetables and other things, but I do a lot of vegetables. And I especially love teaching people how to ferment vegetables, especially just like a simple sauerkraut, some like ginger carrots, because it's so easy to make and kids actually really love eating fermented veggies. People don't believe that at first, but once you get started, kids cannot get enough.
That is so awesome. So you teach mamas how to do this in the one-on-one and the groups as well?
I do. Yeah, I do. I'll teach anyone who wants to learn this. I actually talk about it a lot because it's one of my favorite things. So it's but it's included in my programs, and we do it here at home frequently, and oftentimes we'll put it in Facebook or in my emails.
That is so great. And so I know you've done all this amazing group coaching, one-on-one. What are some of the future endeavors that you are creating right now? I'm super excited to hear.
I love that. Well, I am always focused on improving my services to my clients, making myself more available with my free content to as many people. So I love just getting my messages out there so that people everywhere can take advantage of them, no matter what they have going on in their lives. And I also have a little bit of a dream to put together some products for kids to really support moms who want their kids to fit in, to have amazing foods, packaged foods that are actually supporting their health rather than challenging their health. So yeah, that's maybe on the back burner soon.
Well, that is a great idea. I remember when, my kids were really little, the idea of having things that are already pre-packed and, having that support, that's brilliant, really.
And it looks really fun. Like, my child he's 6 years old now. And for all of the lunches, all of the school events, he always feels better if he has like a packaged thing that kind of matches what all the other kids are eating. So I really like I love for him to feel like he fits in, because the way we eat, not at all the norm. So so I'd like to give that to as many families as possible.
I love that. And I know that you are speaking soon at the Microbiome Medicine Summit, right? Or I guess it's a conference. It's a big deal.
I am. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Not just because I love to give presentations, but because I love the people that show up at the Microbiome Medicine Conference. It's going to be super fun.
Cool. Do you know, I know it's early, it's not until September, but do you know kind of what you're going to be speaking about?
I'm talking a lot about, I do know, I'm going to be sharing a lot about healing motherhood by moving all of us moms, into a place where taking care of our children is so much easier, where we have the tools, the understanding of gut health, and the community, so that it's not such an uphill battle, because motherhood was not meant to be the way it is. Our kids were not meant to be so sick, and we get to start shifting that and feel like, yes, we were meant to be moms. We're doing an awesome job.
That is so beautiful. Wow. And so how can people find you? How can people follow you on social media?
Yeah, so the best way to find me on the web is to look for coachelissa.com. That's my website. And from there, you can sign up to get my emails. So you can get some of these little videos now and then and helpful tips. And on social media, you can find me at Healthy Gut, Happy Child. That is my Facebook page. And on Instagram, also Healthy Gut, Happy Child. And from there, you can find links to sign up for my email as well. I do have a private secret Facebook group, the Healthy Gut Happy Child Summit group, which started with my first summit and developed into a really amazing community and conversation of families that are bound and determined to support their kids' health through their gut.
Oh, that's so awesome. What a great community and what a great service that you're giving. So I always end these interviews with my health heroes with 3 questions.
Okay.
So the first one is, if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
Ooh, oh, I would love to have lots of superpowers. If I had to choose one, well, if I had to choose 2, I would choose the soothing, to be able to instantly transfer to any woman, the soothing stability of ocean water, that calm, that depth, that knowing that everything is just fine. And at the same time, be able to also just shine the most radiant sunlight on anyone's face. Because I know that when I feel the sun on my face, everything gets so much better.
Wow, I love that image. It's like putting together Venus and Surya, or the 2 gods, right? The yin and the yang. That's awesome.
I hope it's okay that I took 2 superpowers.
Oh, of course. You can have as many as you want. That's so great. Okay, so the next question is, if you could transform anything in global health, whether it's human or planetary, what would it be?
Oh, that's a big question. It would be restoring our children's guts so that the gut microbiome, the diversity, the balance, even the physical health, so that they could move forward, learning from us, but having all of the resources to be free of the chronic health stuff that is just overwhelming us right now.
Wow, that is beautiful. And yes, you are so correct. The diversity of our microbiome is dwindling, right?
Really, really rapidly, with every generation. And I feel like it's accelerating. And we're seeing that in the accelerating rise of chronic health conditions, particularly in our kids, in the fertility crash that we're experiencing. And we get to turn this around. We can totally turn this around with our kids, even without that magical reset. Our choices can bring back that diversity.
Wow, I love it. All right. And then lastly, if you could gift the listener with one bit of wisdom, a pearl of advice for their health, what would it be?
Wow. Given our conversation, I would really have to say, take care of yourself, mama. Like, take care of yourself, because that's where it all starts. Get the support you need, get the coaching, the practitioners, the massages. Take time for yourself. Really take care of yourself, because this is where you can give so much to your kids.
Yes. Mama first, right?
Yes, always.
So important. It has been such a joy talking with you, Elissa. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Of course. Thank you so much, Deborahlise. It is such a pleasure always to get to talk with you. You're so inspiring to me.
Well, and I'm so excited to see what you're going to be doing in the future. I'm excited to see you at the Microbiome Medicine Conference in September and hear your amazing presentation. And so
And yours.
Oh.
I can't wait to hear you speak.
Well, I'm excited to see you there in person.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, you have a wonderful day. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Deborahlise. Bye.
Bye.